Hello there and welcome again to RC Model Reviews on YouTube with another not so weekly update. This week I've got quite a few things to talk about, and of course top of the list is FPV, and I told you last time I'll be doing some more FPV stuff. Well, the package I was waiting on from HobbyKing arrived, and in it were two FPV systems. This is the 1.5 watt 900 megahertz video transmitter. And it's a heavy little beastie. It weighs in at over 4 ounces, over 100 grams. But it's very nice gold. Look at that, bling, bling. You can bling out your FPV model with this wonderful transmitter. Now, does it work? I've heard conflicting results. Some people have said it works really good. Others have said it's not very good at all. If I look on the HobbyKing forums, I see that some of the complaints about the 900 megahertz equipment is that it's very dark, it's very dim. Sometimes the sky turns black. So what possibly can be causing that? Well, I've got the 1500 milliwatt version here, and I've got the 200 milliwatt version here. So I'm going to test both these products. I'm going to see if the power makes a lot of difference. Does having what amounts to 7.5 times as much power give you more range? One would expect that it would. Are there problems associated with running all that power? Will it interfere with your radio gear? Does it upset the GPS in your autopilot or your return to launch system? I will test it, I will find out, I will tell you so that you don't make an expensive mistake buying perhaps the wrong equipment. And this is just the start. I've got the the Foxtech 5.8 gigahertz system I've been using, bought that from Hi-Tech. It's been working incredibly well. Over 2 kilometers of range with the standard transmitter aerial and just a low cost 5 decibel gain receiver antenna. 2 kilometers of range from 5.8 gigahertz on 200 milliwatts. That's pretty damn good. I'm impressed, and I'll be doing the full review of that along with the full review of this gear, so you can draw your own conclusions and decide what you can afford and what will best suit your needs for FPV video. The HobbyKing system that I got here comes with this nice little receiver which has little clicky buttons, see that, and it has an antenna jack on the top, video, audio on the bottom, because they do transmit audio as well. No microphone, you have to provide your own microphone, but they do transmit audio as well as video. And it has a little jack there, a little power jack, and believe it or not, it comes with its own AC adapter, and that is really, really useful, because if you've got an extension lead that will run all the way from your bedroom plug at home to your flying field, then this box will be invaluable. For the rest of us, it's a complete waste of time, and in fact, I'd rather have a lower price and leave this out, because we're all going to run this on a LiPo, aren't we? Because we don't have AC at our flying fields. It's just not practical, but I guess it's all packaged up as a deal, and HobbyKing buy them and sell them, so fair enough. It does come with a nice wiring loom, so you don't have to get involved with too much soldering or soldering if you buy the HobbyKing product, but we'll find out if it actually works. And speaking of cameras, the key fob cameras that HobbyKing sell, the little black key fob cameras, I reviewed one some time ago, and I decided it was okay, but the video was a bit jerky and the picture quality wasn't really that good, because it wasn't the best of the key fob range. And now HobbyKing have obviously changed. They've got a new version of the key fob camera. It looks exactly the same. They haven't told you it's a new version, and it is really crap. It is the worst key fob camera I have ever come across, and I've looked at a few now. It is the number 7, I think, which if you go to the 808 key fob camera site, which I'll put a link to on this video, if you go to that site, they say the number 7 is the one to avoid, because the video is absolutely gobsmackingly awful. And I'll put a sample of that video up now. Just have a look at this.
It's a new version. The latest batch is a new version. It's the number 7, which is utter crap. It is the worst key fob camera you can buy. So I would recommend do not buy these from HobbyKing. They are awful. And as you can tell, this is not sponsored by HobbyKing. They are just terrible. I've got one on top of my camera now, and hopefully it's recording, because sometimes it doesn't. And I'll show you a little clip of what that video looks like. If it's recorded, I'll show it to you now.
Did you notice in that the colors are horrible? They're all sort of single shade. It's all like someone's gone over it with a paint by numbers. The first few frames of every video, perhaps the first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, is a single frame. It seems to jam, and then it starts going. And although it's relatively smooth, the image quality is just terrible. You cannot use this camera. Now, I ordered 2 of these key fob cameras. One was dead on arrival, simply did not work. Took it apart, had a look. I found a couple little problems, fixed it up, but it still does not work reliably. I can't trust it. Half the time I go to use it, it doesn't go. I have to reset it, and then it will go, and then it will stop. The one that I'm using at the moment on top of this camera, which you will see a little bit of footage from if it actually did work, probably didn't, is It works, but it still gives that horrible, horrible quality of video. So steer clear. It's not often I give a do not buy recommendation in my videos, but in this case, do not buy the HobbyKing key fob camera that they're currently selling, because it is rubbish, absolute rubbish. You're wasting your money. But if you want a key fob camera, I've just ordered one from Hong Kong, and it is a true HD key fob camera. That's right, 720p HD in a key fob form. And I've looked at some of the sample video, and it is amazing. It is absolutely gobsmackingly gorgeous. The colors are vibrant, the resolution is incredibly sharp, it has a 5 megapixel sensor, and the sound quality is brilliant. The movement is smooth. I mean, I can't think of much that I could complain about with this camera, and it's tiny, tiny small. So suddenly it makes it practical to have high definition video mounted on your model. Have a camera of high definition on your model, or your little FPV, whatever it is, you can do it. Not a big bulky GoPro HD, which is heavy and draggy and difficult to mount, but these little key fob cameras, the video looks just as good as a GoPro. So as soon as mine arrives, I bought it, I think I paid $41 from Hong Kong. As soon as it arrives, I'll be doing a full review, telling you where I got it. And if it's good, I'll tell you. If it sucks, I'll tell you that too. But it's looking pretty good at this stage. Although I haven't had my hands on one, I've only been able to look at what other people have done with them. So if you're into FPV, you will want to know about this camera, because they only weigh, what is it, 20 grams or 15 grams or something. Amazing little pieces of gear. And speaking of FPV, I am an official tester for the new Lotus RC quadcopter. They're going to send me one of those. I will test it out. I will review it. I'll show you how it goes. Is it better than the Gowie? Is it better than building one yourself? Don't know. When I get one, I'll check it out, and then you'll be able to make that decision for yourself. Also lined up today along my little desk here, I have some chargers. I have the Turnigy 5011 2 or 3 cell LiPo charger. Now this is a bargain. It's $5. I thought, $5. What are you going to get for $5? I've tried it out. It works as advertised. Balance charges 2 and 3 cell LiPo packs. It charges it up to 1.3 amps, so it's not going to do your big 5,000 or 8,000 milliamp pack in a hurry. But if you've got smaller packs up to say 1,000 or 1,300 milliamps, this will charge reasonably quickly, and it does a good job balancing. I checked the balance, balances really well. And at this price, if you've got 3 or 4 battery packs that you use in a day, you can charge them all at once by buying 3 or 4 of these. Buy 4, $20. That's cheap. But if you want something a little more advanced, and I bought the Turnigy AccuCell 6, I think it's called, is it? AccuCell 6, I was right. The AccuCell 6, it's a 4-button charger. We've all seen these 4-button chargers with clicky buttons on the front, a little 2-line LCD, and this one has a fan so that when it gets really hot, the fan will come on and make an irritating noise, but it will hopefully keep the bits inside cool so it doesn't blow up. Now I've used it a little bit, it seems to work perfectly. I'm going to do a full review of it, compare it to the old IMAX B6 that we've all had and all used and all been reasonably satisfied with. Look at the benefits, if any, of this, and I'll also do a little tutorial how to use a 4-button charger, because a lot of people, when they buy them, there's no instructions. There's just a couple of cables in the box and the charger. I'll show you a little bit how to use these, but most importantly of all, I'll be testing it out because it's supposed to handle, I think, 6 amps. Most of the 4-button chargers are 5 amps. It seems soundly constructed. I think I'll be happy with that, but only the full test will tell. Now, what else have I got? We've had a long, hot summer here. It's been absolutely fabulous. Lots of flying, lots of time spent at the field. But one of the problems that we've encountered, perhaps due to global warming, who knows, is we've had infestations of flies and sandflies and mosquitoes. It's just been a nightmare. You're out there flying your model and you're trying to bat away the flies and the sandflies and the midges. And I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, they seem to just envelop you in a cloud. So we've resorted to bug spray, these insect repellent sprays that you can buy in the supermarket. And so I bought a few of these and I tried them out. And there is an astonishing difference between the different brands. And some brands are completely useless, absolutely useless. You might as well smear yourself with dog do and stand out there because they swarm all over you when you wear some of that stuff. Other stuff is brilliant. It does the job. It keeps the flies well away. Which works? Well, I'm going to do a full review and tell you. Now, these are obviously brands that may be specific to individual countries, but the active ingredients are the same across various manufacturers. So I'll tell you which active ingredients work, which ones to buy, because it's nearly summer in the Northern Hemisphere. Yes, I know you're all freezing to death now and bitching and moaning because you haven't flown for months, but as I film this, it's the last day of summer in the Southern Hemisphere, February the 28th. So tomorrow, it'll be the first day of autumn, first day of fall, which means up north, it'll be the first day of spring. So you can get ready to start your flying season. And if your summer is going to be anything like ours, you will need these bug sprays because it'll be long and hot and you'll be irritated to hell if you don't have them. So you'll be armed. You'll know which ones to buy because I will tell you. And I've got a list down here. What else have I got on my list? Coming up very soon, a soldering or a soldering tutorial, because I know a lot of people have trouble soldering wires together. It can be quite difficult because if you don't get it right and the wire breaks, you can crash your model. It costs you a lot of money. And basic soldering is actually quite easy to do if you know the basic rules. I'm going to show you the very basic fundamentals so that even you can solder your Dean's connectors or your servo wires or whatever it is you need to do. You'll be able to do it with my simple tutorial, putting it very simple, ABC, and hopefully that'll make your flying a whole lot safer and let you do stuff you might not have otherwise done. I have coming up also, just looking at my list here. Oh yeah, I've got a new project coming up. Now, those of you who have subscribed or view my XJet channel will know, behind me, you can probably see it back there, somewhere over there, is a red and white biplane I built from Corflute. It has a Cox Baby B motor on it and it flies really, really well. It cost me $10, took 20 minutes to make from scratch. It's pretty damn good. Now, you can go and see that video on my XJet channel, but the build video for that is almost done, and I invite you to have a go at that. I'm doing an electric version as well, for all you people who say, oh, I don't want a slimy internal combustion engine, I want electric. So I'm doing an electric version as well. I doubt that it'll have the performance of that, but if electric's your thing, you can build it. But I have another project coming up that uses EDFs, and it will be really exciting, really exciting. It'll be the only one of its kind. I've never seen this particular type of model built before by anybody. So if you want to see a world first, stay tuned. I will be doing that and you'll be able to build one yourself. And you'll think, whoa, why didn't someone build one of these earlier? So stay tuned for that. That's coming up. Finally today, the Christchurch Earthquake. Now, as you all know, I'm resident in New Zealand. In fact, I'm in pretty much the centre of the North Island, a little bit above the centre of the North Island. There's a big blue lake. I'm just a bit up from there in a place called Tokoroa. And we're a long way from the Christchurch earthquake, but obviously a disaster of this scale has affected everyone throughout the country. All those people who emailed me and said, are you okay? Did you have the earthquake? Were you hurt? Well, no, I'm far enough away, didn't feel a thing, but we are all sympathising with the people down in the South Island of New Zealand who suffered great losses and many of who died. 140, I think, over 140 people died in that earthquake. A huge natural disaster. And so I'm safe, but a lot of other people weren't. So I appreciate your concern, and we certainly hope that things get back to normal down there as soon as possible. And that's me for another week, apart from the other videos that are coming up really, really soon. So thank you for watching. If you're inclined to subscribe, then by all means do so. And if you're inclined to make a donation, then again, by all means do so. I thank very much those who have donated this week. Both of you, that has been an extremely valuable addition to the funds I use to buy all this gear and test it out for you. Remember, the Northern Hemisphere summer is coming up really soon, so I'm going to be working as hard as I can to review as much stuff as I can so that you're ready and armed to make those sensible purchasing decisions come your warmer weather. Thanks for watching. I will see you again really soon on the RC Model Reviews channel on YouTube.